so much for joining me today. My name is Sandra Tricoli and I will be holding a 1-hour webinar on Mailchimp. So Mailchimp is actually I'll start with a little bit about me. I've got a business, Savvy Creations PR. I'm also an advisor for the ASBAS program, which stands for Australian Small Business Advisory Services. So that is a government-funded initiative for small businesses like yours to assist you with your marketing, your digital capabilities and all the rest. So if you do need further help after today's webinar, this might be, you might have already had one-on-one consults, but there are a lot of consults out there, including myself, that can assist you with your business. You pay $40 plus GST and it's a one-off fee, that's it. And you get 3 hours one-on-one coaching, and you also get 4 hours minimum of webinars, workshops and all the rest. So it's 7 hours in total for $40. It's fantastic, and you can really have that one-on-one help if you need that. So if you are interested in that, just write your email in the chat box and I will have the PA, or not just your email, sorry, your phone number and your name, and I'll send your details to the PA to have you booked in. The prerequisites to be eligible for that is that you must be in Western Australia, Northern Territory or Queensland. You must have an ABN and you must have less than 20 staff for your business. So they're the prerequisites. If you are eligible, if you tick all those 3 boxes, then you can receive that government grant. It comes through straight away. They book you in, they ask you a few questions and that's it. So it's a fantastic way to get that extra coaching for your business. So that's the first thing. I'll get that out of the way. So welcome and thank you for joining me today. And like I mentioned, today's webinar is going to be on Mailchimp. She'll go for about 50 minutes and we do have a few minutes at the end for Q&A. If there is something along the way though that you were thinking, oh God, I really need to ask this question, feel free to ask the question during the webinar and I'll try to answer it as well as possible. So let's make a start. Okay, so today we're going to show you, I'm going to go through how to set up a Mailchimp account, creating an audience list, creating your first newsletter, so templates, what templates to use, content, all that kind of stuff, how to schedule a newsletter, understanding the analytics and what content actually gets the highest opening rate. The good thing about Mailchimp is that it keeps you in constant conversation with your clients or people that you have met or had some sort of communication with. On average, it takes people, it's 16 touch points before somebody makes the decision to go ahead with your business. So depending on what your product or service is, but Mailchimp is a really good way to keep that communication between you and your customer. You might have special announcements, you might have VIP invites, you might have something interesting to say, you might have launched a new service or a product. Whatever it is, Mailchimp is a really good way to communicate directly with your clients. You've obviously got social media as well, you've got direct email, but Mailchimp newsletters, which are also commonly referred to as EDMs, email direct marketing, are also another great way to keep that conversation and that two-way communication with your clients. So I'm going to log into Mailchimp now, and I'm actually going to show you how to import contacts, create a campaign, send the campaign, and I'm going to show you the reporting. So if you do want, I think you will get sent a copy of this regardless of this recording. So if you go, oh God, what did Sandra say, or can you slow down or whatnot, please let me know. But I will literally go through step by step now of how to create a successful campaign and how to send it to your database. So let's go to the actual Mailchimp. So I just want to let you all know that today's Mailchimp workshop, I am using the free Mailchimp. Now you can have a free version of Mailchimp when you have up to 2,000 contacts. So the free Mailchimp gives you one audience, right? It gives you one audience and it gives you 2,000 contacts. What do I mean by audience? You might have 2 or 3 different audiences. You might want to break your audiences down in male and female. You might want to have, depending on your business, depending on your industry, depending on what you do, but you might think, I have 2 or 3. I might have one that's clients and I might have one that's investors, for example. So if you have more than one audience, then you might want to look at getting like a different package. If you click on pricing here, it shows you all the different, I guess, packages that they've got. So you've got the standard. The standard is $14 a month, and then it goes up, right? So these are all the different platforms: standard, premium, essentials, and free. So free is beginners can get started with free marketing, landing pages, and basic email templates. Grow your audience, right? So 0 to 2,000 contacts. I always say it's a great way to start. Get yourself familiarized with Mailchimp, and then once your database starts to grow, then obviously you can then look at increasing your packages. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll log in. Remember your login details, that's always important. Yep, there you go. Okay, I did this the other day and it worked, so why is it doing this now? Like that. Okay. Love when it's not letting you log in. It's the same login that I use every single time. A bit of a moment. Okay. So you can actually have a verification code. So I've got, that's just for extra security. They're going to send me a code now. Okay. A lot of these things are now having two-step authentication, so people can't just log in. Right. Okay, now we're in. All right, fabulous. So how do we start sending out a newsletter? The first thing, the most important thing is to have the right database, the right client contacts, because you can have the best newsletter, but if you don't have the right contacts, then you know, who's it really going to go to? So there's a few ways to collect contacts. You can collect the contacts through your website. So you can have like a landing page where people can sign up to receive something for free, right? So I did that about 2 weeks ago only. I put on my website, let me see if I can actually find that. So I'll just quickly show you what I've done. And this is a good way of generating free emails, and you know, just emails of people that are actually interested in your product or your service. Right, so there's a few ways. One way is you've got networking events that you go to and you get business cards and all the rest, and you can add them to your Mailchimp account. But always at the bottom of any newsletter or that you send out, you've always got to write down, you are receiving this newsletter because X, Y, and Z. Right, so that's one way. Right, another way is you can obviously buy data. You know, you can actually go, there's a platform that you can actually, well, there's a few like market research platforms where you say plumbers are my demographic, therefore you can buy, you know, 2,000 emails of all plumbers in Perth. You can do that as well. And at the bottom of the newsletter, you can write, you're receiving this email because, you know, because I got it through X, Y, and Z. So you can do that. Otherwise, what I've done as well is I've put here free download, right? So this is my business, home, about our services, blog, gallery, contact, and free download, right? So when people click on free download, 10 ways to grow your personal and business profile on LinkedIn. Right now, if people want this download, they click on here, download your free PDF here, right? I have to refresh that. But when they download that, let's go back to that. When they press on that, because I'm still in my old website, I haven't, it's been updated, but I have to refresh it. But basically, you can do that through Mailchimp, and then they have to put their name and their email and everything in the contact form, and then that automatically will add them to your Mailchimp audience, right? So that's another really good way of collecting a database. So there's a few different ways, but this is a really good one because it's very targeted. So think about what your product or your service is, and think about how you can give away a free resource on your website, such as, you know, I've got here 10 ways to grow your personal and business profile on LinkedIn. So that's my free content that I'm giving away. But in order to give it away, people need to enter their email. And what that does is it's capturing their email if they're interested. And, you know, it's a win-win. They get the free resource and I get the email, which I can then use to retarget them with other marketing or other news or other things that are going on in my industry or my business. So that's a really good way to do that as well. Okay, so I'll stop that share and I'll go back to Mailchimp. We'll go to audience first. Now, my advice to you is keep a separate Excel spreadsheet with like databases, right? So have a separate Excel that's got like their email, their name, all that kind of stuff, because that's the stuff that you can then insert into Mailchimp. So try and have it separate if you can. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the top here. So we've got, I'll go walk you through these tools here. We've got, what's this on page? Okay, we've got the little monkey. Always go back to the little monkey if you get confused or not sure what to press. Create, this is if you want to create a campaign. Then you've got audience, you've got campaigns that you've already done, automations, website, blah, blah, blah. Today, what we're going to be doing is creating a newsletter, and we're going to be updating your audience, and we're going to be looking at campaign and why some campaigns are successful and why some campaigns are not successful, okay? So the very, very, very first thing we're going to do is click on the audience, right? Now, I generally wouldn't click on audience first because I've already got an audience. As you can see here, I've got 1,268 email addresses. But if you're starting from zero and you don't have an audience, the very first thing you need to do is have an audience, right? So, and also if you do have an Excel spreadsheet and you're keeping it updated often, you can always, like, say once a month, go, okay, I'm going to add all these new contacts in to Mailchimp. Otherwise, you can literally do it manually. It all comes down to how many emails and contacts you've got. So I'm going to click onto audience. And then I'm going to click onto manage audience here in the right-hand corner, right? Manage audience. And then you can do this. So you can add a subscriber, you can import contacts, you can sign up forms, surveys, inbox, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to either, if you click on add a subscriber, so if you only have 1 or 2 people subscribing or 1 or 2 people that you add per week, then you click on add a subscriber. Otherwise, you click on import contacts. So if you've got an Excel spreadsheet and you've got email, name, last name, and all the rest, you would simply click on import contacts, right? When you click on import contacts, it gives you 2 ways to import these contacts. One is through uploading a CSV file, or the other one is copy and paste. I generally do copy and paste. Why? Because it's easy, right? It's simple, copy and paste, happy days. So I'm going to click on continue to upload. So here you put so in your Excel spreadsheet, make sure you've got the email address in one column, the first name in the other column, last name in the third column, and then if you want, you can have their address. Now, a lot of the time you don't have people's address, so you probably, the main 3 ones are email, first name, and last name, right? So if you have an Excel spreadsheet, make sure you've got email address, first name, last name in this order, and then you can basically just keep adding to that Excel spreadsheet, and then once that's updated, transfer it, copy and paste it into into Mailchimp. So just that is what you do, right? So copy and paste it. So go into your Excel, copy and paste. You might have, like, how many of us have, like, I know I do, I've probably got like 200 business cards that I've met people out and about and that you're in constant contact with as well. You can actually go and sit down and put aside 1 or 2 hours a week and update an Excel spreadsheet and then update that into here, just copy and paste it. It's simple, right? So I'm going to click on continue to organize. Imagine I've copied and pasted 50 emails, first names and last names, right? I click, well, I have to put 1 in at least. So let's do this. Sandy. So imagine this is copied and pasted from an Excel. I click on continue to organize. Okay, it organizes it for me. Okay, where it says select a status, subscribed, right? you must click on subscribe, because if you clicked unsubscribe and unsubscribe, it won't add them in there. So subscribed, update any existing contacts. So in case they're already in your database, you click on update any existing contacts, and what that's going to do is it's going to not duplicate it, right? Because you've only got 2,000 for the free one, so you don't want to keep duplicating in case the numbers go over 2,000. Continue to tag. Okay, now search to create tags. I'm gonna explain what tags are. So it can get a bit confusing, but I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. So we've got, in the free Mailchimp version, you've got like one audience you can have, right? In the premium one, you can have 3 or 4 or 5. However, you can tag the audience. You can have multiple tags within an audience. So let's say you've got an audience of, let's call it, I don't know, let's call it, I'm just trying to think of just an audience, so just general audience, right? But then you say, I want to be able to tag the men and the women, or I want to tag, you know, if I know everyone's birthday, I want to tag January, February, March, April, May next to their birthday month. So then when it's January, I can send all the people that I've tagged January a happy birthday month email, right? So you can do that. So within one audience, you can have multiple tags, if that makes sense, right? So, but with, yeah, so you can have 5, 10, I think up to about 10 different tags. So I'm going to say, for example, here I've got ASBAS, which is my ASBAS client, so Australian Small Business Advisory Services. I've tagged some people as clients. I've tagged some people as people that are really highly engaged, people with medium engagement, and all the rest, right? So you can literally say, I want to tag people, I'm going to say male, right? No, I'll say female. Okay, female. Okay, create female. And that means that continue to match. So if I click on continue to match, that means that Sandra Tricoli that I've just added in there, I can send her an individual email, or anyone that I tag under female, I can send them a separate newsletter that they will only get because I've tagged them, right? And I'll show you how to do that before. So it's all about segmenting. So continue to match, final import, finalize import, complete import, done. Okay, that's it. So I've done that on a low scale, but imagine this being done with 100 people, right? What's going to make it easy for you is if you have these columns in your Excel spreadsheet, email, first name, last name, copy, paste, and then continue to match. And then if you've like added, if they're all new clients, or, and you could even go, okay, like a good tag would be networking, right? So anyone you've met at a networking event, you can tag them as networking, right? So then when you go and send out a newsletter, you can just say, I want to just target people that I've met at a networking event, but you must tag them as networking, right? Or you might have existing clients. Now, existing clients and networking clients might have 2 different newsletters, right? So you can type in existing clients and then add them as a tag, and then you can just send them different things, right? So then the next thing you would do is click on a start a campaign, but that's only because I've imported people. I'm going to click back on the monkey, right? I'm going to click back on the monkey, and then I'm going to click onto the pencil, right? So monkey, pencil. Usually the first thing you need to do is click on the pencil sign here, but I've just showed you now the audience because I'm not sure if, for those of you who are tuned in today, have an audience already existing or not. So I'm going to click on the create here. Perfect. So what do I want to create? I want to create just a regular email. Okay, so you've got here email, customer journey, website, landing page, multi-channel designs. Today we're going to focus on email. So I'm going to click on email, and I'm going to click on I would like a regular email. Thank you. Now the campaign name. Now this is for you to know, right? No one actually sees this but you. So I'm going to call this a Christmas campaign. Okay, Christmas campaign. And then you click on begin. Now this part here, no one else can see but you. I guess it's to remind you of what the campaign's about. I click on begin. Okay, perfect. So I've got begin. So then I click on here. I would like to send this to my ASBAS newsletter clients. But you see here how it's got the segment or tag. I can click on May or staff or savvy or female, right? Let's say female. So if I click on the female, only one person will get that because there's only one person with that tag, right? Otherwise, you could click high engagement, or just leave it as it is. If you want it to go to everyone, and it depends how complex and how many different target markets you've got and segments and all the rest, to keep it simple, one audience, one newsletter, happy days. But if you do have a few segments within one audience, then you can definitely, obviously do that. So this stage, I'm just going to click on all subscribed in audience, right? So it goes to everyone. Then I click on save. Now, if you want to say personalized to, so you see where this little pencil, you know, when you get an email, it says, "Dear Sandra Tricoli, I hope you're great, blah, blah, blah." So you can actually click on this little thing here, right? This little tick sign, and you click on merge tag first name, right? So that will then get that, and it will say to Bob Smith rather than just their email. Okay, so it will personalize their name. It will only work though if you have their first name and their last name in your Excel spreadsheet before you upload it into the audience list, right? So that really personalizes it, because that actually increases the chances of them opening the email if their first name is in there. Okay, so add merge tags to display your recipient's name to make it more personal and help avoid spam filters. For example, F name, last name will show to them as Bob Smith instead of to bob@example.com. Okay, so that's really good to personalize it. So you click on merge tags, first name, save. Okay, perfect. The second thing you want to do is click on from. So what I like about this, it's very segmented. You've got to, from, subject, and then the content. So we've clicked on to, we've clicked from, you click on edit from. So in here, you can type in who it's coming from. So I'll say it's coming from Savvy Creations PR. You could say it's coming from Santa. Okay, you can say it's Santa if you wanted to, be funny, Santa Claus, right, or whatever. I'm just going to say Santa. Okay, and then the email address it's coming from. Now, anyone that bounces back or that wants to respond to the newsletter or anything like that, it will go to this email address, right? So savvycreationspr@gmail.com, and then I click on save, and then the subject. Okay, so the subject is Santa is here. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, and then you click on this little emoji, and I don't know if they've got a Santa, but let's do a happy face. Okay, now it has been shown that emojis get more opening rates in newsletters, like, because, you know, I know I do, and I'm sure you all do as well. You receive lots of emails every day, so you want to make sure that it stands out. Another thing that works well is capital letters. So your VIP invite, for example, right? That's another one. So capital letters, emojis, things that are going to make people want to open it up. That's the stuff that you want to do. It's a bit of that fear of missing out. You don't want to give away too much in the subject, but just enough to entice people to want to open it. Okay. The next thing is the preview text. And so the preview text is what appears in the inbox after the subject. So the first thing will be your VIP invite, which will be in bold, right, when someone receives an email. And the second thing is going to be, open this email to see where you find out all the details, for example, right? Boom. So open this email, and then we click on save. Okay, so we've gone to, from, subject, your VIP invite, and last thing now is content. So this is where we actually design the email. So I'll walk you through designing an email now and what needs to be included in there. So we click on design email. Okay. Then you select a template that you would like to use. Now, with some of them, they're free, but you can see here, upgrade now. They keep enticing you to upgrade so you can get more, right? So you've got layouts, themes, save templates, campaigns, and code your own. I don't touch the code your own one at all. What you want to do is click onto the layouts. If this is your first ever newsletter, you'll have to click onto layouts and choose which layout you would like and go from there. If, however, you've done previous ones, I'll click on my campaigns, and you can see that they're all very consistent. And the reason being is because once you've created one one newsletter, you can actually use the same template, right? So let's say you've already done an existing one. All I would do from now, for me, right, I would click on this one, the very last one I did, and just edit everything in there and send it. And then it will just create a new one, right? So you don't have to every single time go and put all the logos in, all the social media icons, everything. You do that once and you basically use that same template for all your other newsletters, right? So the first newsletter you ever do, which if this is your first one, right, might take you an hour, it might take you 2 hours, depending if you've got the content written, if you've got photos written and all that. Photos in your on your computer and all the rest. So you can see here, they're all very consistent, right? I've got my logo, I've got everything there. So that's what you want to do, because it creates that consistency with your brand, which is really, really important, right? But I'm going to just imagine that no one has ever done a campaign, and I'm going to start fresh, so then I can show you the process of what needs to be done. Okay, so we'll go back to this little monkey just so I haven't lost anybody. Okay, we click on campaigns. Now, if you've started, I just want to show you quickly, if you've started a campaign and you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? I'm stuck. Click back on the little monkey in the left-hand corner and just scroll down to campaigns, right? Because it will save it, right? So click down to campaigns. Okay, and we've got the Christmas campaign here, right? So see, it's a draft. So I've got a few drafts here. So that's a draft. So you click on that and that will take you back to the other thing. So don't freak out if you're not sure and you go, oh, I'm lost. What do I do again? Just click on the little monkey, scroll down to the campaigns and click back on edit campaign. Okay, and you can see all the information that I've put in there is still there. The invite, the to, and the from. The next thing we do is click on sign email. Okay. Okay, select a template. So you've got layout, theme, saved, campaigns. Today, we're going to go to just a brand new layout, but if you've done one, after that, you'll always click on campaigns and just click on the campaign from the last campaign and edit that one, and that will send us a new one, okay? So we'll go down. I'm going to click on this one. Just to show, let's click on this one. Oh no, see, that's upgrade to use, upgrade to use, upgrade to use. So really it's giving me these two as a free one. So let's do this one. Let's do that one. Great. Okay. So it gives you a blank canvas. Now, like I said, the first time might take you an hour or two, depending how quick you are. But after that, once it's done, it's done. So let's go through this. Now, it can get a little bit funny, Mailchimp, because everything in the left-hand corner here, we need to edit in the right-hand corner here, right? So it can get it's a bit awkward because, you know, if you want to change something here, you're used to clicking on this and changing in there. But as you can see, I've clicked on this and I have to make the changes in the right-hand side, okay? I've got a question. Do single column newsletters show up best on phones? Depends how so you can actually click on preview here. So thank you for your question. Do single columns, it depends on the way you've structured the newsletter, how many images you've put in there and things like that. So it doesn't really make a huge difference. If you're not sure what it's going to look like on an iPhone, you click on preview, right? You always click on preview here in the right-hand corner. Oops. And then you click on enter preview mode. And you can click here, desktop, mobile. So it actually shows you what it's going to look like in your inbox, in mobile, and in desktop. So if you're not sure, always click on the preview, okay? So let's start with this. So what do I do? The first thing I'm going to do is click on here on the top part, which is logo, right? Once I've clicked on logo, I then, remember we're working on the right-hand side to make the updates in the left-hand side. So I've clicked on logo. I then click on replace your logo. So I'm going to click on replace. There's nothing in there. And then I've gone in here, which is my file with all these images. Now, if you have no images in here, which you won't if it's your first time using Mailchimp, all you need to do is click on upload here, right, where it says upload. And once you click on upload, you then choose which photos you would like to upload. So I'm going to click on here. chosen a photo and I'm clicked on upload. Okay, so I've uploaded that in there. Now I don't really want that as my profile. Well, you can have that as your main one, but I'm going to click back onto Creative Assistant and I'm going to click onto my files and I'm going to say I want my logo in there, and then I click on insert. Okay, boom. So my logo's in there. And every segment that you do, you must save and close, right? So I've done that. You can't go straight to the next part. You've got to click save and close, and then you go to the next part, okay? Now, this is the part where it's your copy. So let's see if I can find something in my work. Let's say this one here, right? I'm just going to use this copy just to show you as an example, right? So blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's say this is my copy. Okay, so blah, 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 I've put all my copy in there. Now you can change all that. You can, if you think it's too big or too small, you basically highlight it and you click on style. So you want it like that. Then you might say the font, I want it to be Arial and I want it to be size 14, which is probably a bit too small. So then you go 17, right? And then you click on save and close. And that's what that looks like, right? Now it looks a bit bland, it looks a bit basic. So I feel like it needs more images. Now, if I want more images, I click on here where it says image in the right hand corner, or I click on image group, which means it's more images, or I click on image and text, which gives me space for an image and text or whatever. In this case, I'm going to click on image group and I'm going to, you've got to kind of drag it over, right? So I've clicked image group and I'm going to drag it there. Perfect. Okay, so it's giving me 2 images. So once again, I need to upload an image in here and in here. And to do that, I click on here, upload an image. I'll put this one in there and I click insert and I click on this one and I click insert, for example. Oops. Great. So then that is save and close. Now you can add more photos. You can, now they're not as big. It says this image is a bit big, might close down, da, da, da. If it's too much of a big photo, you might want to get another one. You might want to get one that's a bit smaller. When I say smaller, it's got the actual dimensions here, right? So aim for 800 to 1200, right? So you click on let's fix it. And they can actually resize it for you in here, right? And you click save. And that should actually resize it, okay? Then we click save and close. Then we scroll down, right? So let's say you wanted another image in there. You can say I want another image in here. And then you click on Creative Assistant or upload an image. So I might choose that, for example, and I click insert. Right, so you get the gist. So, you know, you might say, oh, you know what, I don't like these photos here anymore. So you can just click on this little delete box, delete. See, so that looks a bit better, right? So as you can see, the first part is really important because you want to make sure that it looks nice and presentable, right? And then after that, the template is easy to reuse, right? You might think, you know what, I actually want to add a button, a call now button. So I'm going to drag that over and I'm going to write on here, you know, get in touch, or contact us rather. Okay, and then you can put here, do you want them to email you? You put your email address on there. And so what that means is anytime anyone clicks on this button in the newsletter, it will go directly to your email as well, okay? Then you've got your social media icons. So you can see every little part here, right, is, just want to make sure I don't have any questions. Yeah, cool. Every section, it's all very sectioned off, right? Section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, right? Then we go here, section 5, which is the social media icons. This is where you can add and delete social media. So I don't have Twitter, so Facebook, and then you put your Facebook URL, your website. You can keep adding as many services as you want. You might say, I want to add email on there. I want to add another service. I'm going to add, so you basically choose LinkedIn is another one, right? And so on and so forth. So if you do add those, make sure you put the URL in there. So then when people click on the social media icon in their newsletter, it takes them directly to your page, your social media page, right? Save and close. Okay. So I've got the logo, I've got the copy there, then I've got the photo. If you feel like, oh, you know what, there's too much copy there, you can always minimize that. So I can say, take out this, Control-C, take it out, save and close. So I've got that. And then I say, you know what, I want more text under this photo because otherwise it's too text rich. I've added a text box in there and then save and close. So you can see straight away that might look a bit nicer like that, right? Because it's a bit broken up. So you can do that, okay? And then the last thing is the bottom part here, which you need to put copyright, and then you've got to put 2021 in here. So 2021, okay? And so just basically fill this out. 2021, put your company name, all rights reserved, right? Our mailing address, you can put that on there if you like. You could put on here, you have to do not ever delete this part here. We want to change how you receive these emails. You can't ever remove that, right? It's actually illegal to remove that because you need to give people the ability to unsubscribe if they want to, okay? And then also a good idea to put at the bottom here is you're receiving this email because, you know, you downloaded our newsletter or because you signed up to our newsletter or because we met at a networking event, whatever it is, but always have a little thing there that tells people why they're actually receiving the newsletter, and always keep that in there, okay? So you can, our mailing address, if you don't have a mailing address or a PO box, you can do PO box 123, whatever it is. If you've got just a virtual office or just no office at all, you can take that out if you don't have a mailing address, and save and close, okay? Now, if you want to add a video in here, with Mailchimp, you can only add, right? So I put the video in there. You can only add a URL, right? So you can't actually, like, you know, with Facebook, you record yourself on your phone or something and you upload it. With Mailchimp, you can't do that yet anyway. So what you need to do, if you have a video that you want to put in here, you need to have a URL that you insert in there, right? That will link people directly to the video, right? So where it says here video URL, you'll put www. wherever the video is online, and then that will insert directly into the Mailchimp. So it can't be off your phone, it needs to be pre-uploaded onto YouTube or onto Vimeo or one of those platforms, or even on your website, and that video you can then insert, right? So in this case, we're not going to put a video there, we'll delete that, right? Image card, share button, so if you want to add a share, okay? If you want people to be able to share your newsletter as well, so that's a really good way of actually getting more followers and more likes and all the rest. So I will go delete that, okay, just really quickly. So if you want to like scroll down and say, you know, win a trip for 2, or it might be like something, a giveaway, you might want to put the share button in here. And that helps people be able to share your post, right? They can forward. I mean, they can still forward it on in email, but it just increases the likelihood of more people signing up and more people seeing your newsletter. Okay, save and close. All right, so that's all the bits and pieces you can do here. Text, box, text, blah, 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 right? And then that's it, right? So that's what the newsletter looks like. Now, I never, ever, ever send out a newsletter before previewing it and sending it to my inbox first. Why? Because sometimes you might think, oh, looks great, looks perfect to go. But when you actually receive it in your inbox, you're like, oh my God, it's got a spelling error, or oh my God, I've done this wrong. So always send yourself a test first. So I always click on the preview button here, and I click on preview, enter preview mode. Okay, and this is what it looks like on desktop. This is what it looks like on mobile. Okay, so scroll down. Okay. Right, you see email you're receiving because X, Y, and Z. Okay, and then that's it. And then I click on desktop again. Okay, now if I'm happy with that, I then click on preview again, and I click on send a test email. Okay, I'm going to send it to Savvy Creations, my email. Now let's have a look if it's come through. Okay. Now, sometimes you'll find it will go into promotions, right? Depending on, a lot of the time it actually depends on the email it's coming from, but sometimes if it's from a Gmail, you'll find it will actually go into promotions. So if you click on promotions, here we go. There. It always says test your VIP invite. Open this email to find out all the details, right? Now, obviously, when you send it, it's not going to have the test thing, but it's just going to have your VIP invite. Okay, we open that, looks safe, and there it is. Okay, there's my newsletter. There we go, right? So that's it like that. So I say, yep, I'm happy with that. Wait, I just want to make sure you guys are seeing the right thing. So that's it, your VIP invite. Yep, but if everything looks good, you've read over all the copy, you're happy with everything, all the buttons work, make sure all of that works and is functioning, right? Then the next thing you want to do is go back to the Mailchimp account. All right, so we're going to click on back on here. Okay, and then we're going to scroll, oops, over. Okay, then in the right-hand corner here, you've got continue, so you click continue. Perfect. Okay, and then the last thing you want to do, right, which I'm not going to do now, is click on send, right, in the right-hand corner here. Now, I'm not going to press send now because obviously the email has nothing to do with my business, but that's what you would do. If you have the paid version, you can click on schedule, right, and you've got to upgrade that. So if you're really, and look, a lot of people are really busy, it's kind of like a scheduling tool for social media. You've got Hootsuite, you've got Later, and all these other ones. Same thing with Mailchimp. So you might say, I want to schedule it in for, you know, every month to go out on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning, for example. You can do that, but you will need to upgrade your account. All right. So in this case, if you're not upgrading, all you need to do is actually, you can have it ready in drafts, and then all you need to do is click send on the time and the day that you actually want it to go out. And last of all, you click send, and that's it, right? So we've done everything here too, from subject, content, and if everything's happy, you've sent yourself a newsletter, and you've sent yourself, sorry, the example, the preview one, you're happy with that, you click on send, and that's it. Once you've clicked send, give it about a day or two before you look at the reports, because the report, you know, people open up their emails at different times. So have a look at the reports. You'll get a more real figure a few days after than if you look at the report straight away. Okay. So in order to look at the reports, you just click here. It says track the performance of your marketing campaigns. You click on reports, and it shows you how it's tracking and how it's doing. Okay. So it shows you here how many people have opened it up, opening rate. Oops. Okay, so it shows you here how many people, 28, 300, 300, 41%, 35. Okay, on average, for a Mailchimp accounts, people on average, it's around the 30 to 50% opening rate. Okay, 30 to 50% on average. A lot of it comes down to the leads, the actual connections in your Mailchimp. So if all those people that are within your database on Mailchimp in your audience list are like real clients, you'll find that the opening rate is going to be a lot higher compared to the opening rates if you bought the data on like a third party, you know, marketing platform or something like that. So I always say it's quality over quantity. There's no point in you having 10,000 emails just for the sake of it. You're better off having 200 that are really, really engaged rather than having 2,000 that are not engaged at all. So go back to that. If you want to have a look at the performance of any of your campaigns that you've done previously, all you need to do is click on campaigns here. So we've got the monkey. My monkey is always my kind of home base. So you always go back to the monkey if you're not sure. You've got the create, audience, campaigns. You click on the campaigns there. Okay. and it shows you basically, so they're drafts, I've got a few drafts there. It shows you, if you want to view like the actual report in more detail, you simply just click on view report here in the right hand corner. And it shows you everything, right? So it shows you, so this campaign, for example, had 41.5%, which is a good opening rate. Your average campaign is about, so my average campaign is about 35%, which is about, you know, yeah, so about 1 in 3 or 2 in 3 people open it. And your peers' average performance is 30, which is good, right? So it's saying people generally in marketing space are around the 30%, whereas for me, this usually I'm around 35, and this particular campaign got 41%, which is really good. Okay. Other things, you've got 340 opened at 1 clicked, 16 bounced. So the 16 bounced, that might mean that those emails are no longer relevant. Maybe people have left their jobs, maybe whatever, and 1 person has unsubscribed. People always unsubscribe. Don't take that as like a, you know, I mean, the only time, even if people have actually subscribed on your, like, to your newsletter, people have a tendency, I know I do, where I go and I clean out my inbox from time to time and I delete newsletters and unsubscribe from newsletters that no longer interest me or they're not valuable anymore. So that's okay. Don't lose sleep over it. I know sometimes people, you know, and the thing is you can actually click on it and see who it is. And sometimes I've been like, why did I unsubscribe? But I've also learned to not let it, you know, not lose any sleep over it, because people have different reasons for subscribing and unsubscribing. So don't let that affect you. If people unsubscribe, it's totally normal, as long as, you know, you're getting people opening it and clicking and booking and all the rest. And then it shows you here the top links that were clicked. So people that, you know, clicked on the links and all the rest, and where people have opened it. So I've had people in Japan, don't know why, USA, Australia, and all the rest. Okay. So that's a really good way of actually seeing the performance of your actual newsletters. Okay. So does anybody, I've still got some other things I want to talk about. We've got about 10, 15 minutes to go. Is there anything in particular around how to send out a campaign that you think, oh, I'm not too sure about this yet? And if there is, feel free to also, if you don't want to bring it up now, if you want to have a chat later, feel free to just send me an email, info@savvycreations.com.au. Otherwise, you can also get a recording, or you can also get this recording so you can go over that. Okay. So I just want to go back to my presentation because I know there's a few things in here that I haven't touched on. We've got import context, create the campaign, send the campaign, reporting. Okay, they're the different things. We've gone through all of that. Okay, so where to find images for your social media? So for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Mailchimp. So these are the platforms where you can get free photos for your Mailchimp. Yeah, we've got a question here. Is scheduling, can we send someone a birthday card every year in scheduling? Jason, so your question, the only way you can send someone a happy birthday card would be if you are on the premium one, and if you've put them under, like if you've tagged them like January or February the 1st, right? So you need to already know when their birthday is for you to be able to do that, but that would have to be with the premium one. So yes, you can definitely do that, but you would have to know their birthday and you would have to segment them for that birthday. And there is a lot of automated ways you can do this now through Mailchimp as well. Like I'm showing you today the real basic kind of like how to send out just a newsletter. But if you do want to go and get more automated stuff where it kind of like does it, I mean, the newsletter's not automated, you still have to write the newsletter. But for example, the birthdays and things like that, you can do all of that where it automatically can send that out. So yes, you can. Your answer is yes, because I know I get stuff from like Country Road and Witchery and Myers, like happy birthday. I'm like, surely they can't keep track of my birthday. So, but obviously because I've given them my birthday, they've put me in May the 5th as a segment. So yeah. Okay, so one of the things for Mailchimp is you really want to have nice photos in there as well, right? You don't want to just have you know, just content. You want to have a bit of photos to break it up. So these are some of the images. These are some of the free platforms. You can get really beautiful photos that you can then put into your Mailchimp, into your newsletters, into your social media and all the rest. One that I use a lot is called Unsplash. And yeah, all the photos are free and they're beautiful, high quality. You don't have to quote anyone, they're all copyright free. So really, really good way of getting some more images for your socials and all the rest. Okay, we've gone through all of this. I'm just jumping a bit. Okay, what to include. Okay, where are we? Okay, so this is probably the last slide that I really wanted to talk about today. So there's a few, I guess, things that you've got to keep in mind when it comes to a successful campaign. One is having a good subject, because as you saw, the one that I had is your free VIP invite. Chances are that would get a lot of opening rates, right? Free gets a lot of opening rates. So a study that was conducted had approximately 24 billion delivered emails with subject lines, and it showed me out of this study, and approximately 22,000 had the distinct words. So these were the results, what worked good and what worked not good. So the first one, personalization works. So free works, personalization, if you could put their name in there, sense of urgency. So for example, open this email, or, or like last day or sale or whatever it is, create a bit of urgency. 24 hours only, things like that. That's what creates people wanting to create curiosity. One of my best performing campaigns ever, the subject was, do not post this on your social media during COVID, right? So that was the opening sentence, and people opened it because they wanted to know what can't they post during COVID. So create a bit of curiosity in the subject. Announcement or an invitation, so you could say special announcement, or you're invited. You can thank them. Capitalization works really well. So you can see what I've done is I've done two things where I've got the capital letters, your VIP invite is one thing. And obviously I've added a few emojis, that works really well. And requests for donations are highly ignored as well. So if you're saying, requesting for a donation, unfortunately, it's very sad, but a lot of people actually don't respond to that. I've just remembered I wanted to show you guys something else before we finish up, because we've got 8 minutes. But if you go to Mailchimp, I'm just going to quickly click on my campaigns again, because what I want to show you now is if people are where are we? If you want to send someone a newsletter, and in the newsletter it says, "Dear Sandra, I hope you're keeping well," you can do that in the subject, but you can also do it in the actual email. So if I click on all campaigns, and I'm going to click on my Christmas campaign and edit that. Okay, and edit the design. Going a bit slow, the computer. Okay, so if I click on the text here where it says mission, okay, if I type in dear, right, if you want it to say dear Sandra or dear John or dear whoever, you have to click on here where it says merge tags, and you click on first name, and you click on merge tags, last name. Okay, so by doing this, right, automatically when it goes to their email, it's going to put in there, it's going to insert their first name and their last name, right? So, but this will only work once again if you have their first name and their last name in the actual database. If you don't have it in their in your database, in the audience list, it won't work. So dear, a lot of the time people will just put one, right? Dear Sandra, or hey Sandra, hope you're well. And then you click save and close. Okay. Now obviously you want to change, the text, it's a bit too big. You want to make sure it's all the same. Okay. And then save and close, and then that will go. So when you click on merge tags, if you ever want to add anything, you could even click it in here. You could say, so Sandra, right? Or and if you want to add my name or someone's name in the actual content, so they're really engaged, once again, you can click on merge tags, first name, right? So wherever you merge tag and put F name, it's going to automatically put their name in it, right? Which is really powerful, because when someone's reading it and it's got your name in it, obviously you feel like more relatable to the content. So that's a little side thing that I forgot to mention before. So you can incorporate people's name throughout the whole copy, but always make sure you put F name in there, or last name, or whatever tag you want to put in there. Save and close. Okay, and then you click on continue in the right hand corner. Okay, and send. Boom. Okay, and that's it. So that's a quick, I guess, snapshot and introduction to sending your first newsletter. Is there any questions or anything that you might not be sure about that I can help you with? Okay, let's have a look. I created a Facebook campaign where people can sign up for the newsletter. However, I cannot integrate my Facebook from the Mailchimp. Can we go over the forms very quickly? I'm sorry, I understand a very specific question. So you created a Facebook campaign where people can sign up for a newsletter through your Facebook. Wanda, I'm just seeing this. So I created a Facebook campaign where people can sign up for a newsletter. However, I cannot integrate my Facebook form to Mailchimp. Can we go over? So I created a Facebook campaign where people can sign up for a newsletter. I created a Facebook campaign where people can sign up for a newsletter. However, I cannot. So I think, I'm not sure if you can actually integrate. I know you can share on Facebook, but I'm actually not, and this is me just being 100% honest, I'm actually not sure if you can create a form on Facebook and then integrate it with Mailchimp. I think it has to be done the other way, from my understanding, but I'm probably not the best person to answer that, to be honest with you, because I'm not 100% sure. From what I do know is that you can definitely share things on Facebook, but oh, someone else asked me a question. Facebook question. Sorry, I just wanted to know the difference between personalization, beginning with that will send out emails to their person. Yep. So for your question there, you wanted to know the difference between, Jason, the personalization. So in the inbox, when it actually arrives in the inbox, the initial personalization that I showed you will say their name in the subject line, compared to the one that I showed you just then about merging tags, which was showing the actual copy of the body of the newsletter. Okay, so they're two different places. So in the first one that I showed you, that's putting their name in the actual subject. So they'll go, oh, it's for me, the newsletter. And the second one that I showed you was in the actual copy of the content. Okay. When adding a subscriber, their first name, last name, their name should name be their business name. What would you advise about setting up an email marketing without a website? Should I create a lead magnet first? So, okay, I've got a few questions. So when adding a subscriber in their first name, last name, their name, should name be on their business name? Should name be their business name? Look, it depends how you, Diane, it depends how you speak to your clients. I would generally put their first name and their last name, and you can put, because there is sections in there where you can put people's business name in there as well if you add a subscriber, but I would just keep it to first name and last name personally, because I think it just keeps it direct to the person that's receiving the email. Would you advise setting up an email marketing without a website? Should I create a lead magnet? You can actually create like a lead magnet, and you can also create like a landing page. So even through Mailchimp, they actually give you the option to create a landing page. If you don't have a website, create a landing page through Mailchimp and have a lead magnet on there. Lead magnets are really, really good in capturing the right demographic, right? Because they will generally be the ones that are opening your newsletters and all the rest. So yeah, definitely, if you can have a landing page, you use Linktree in your Insta bio. Yeah, so you can, if you use Linktree, I still think it's important today's day and age to have some sort of landing page for your business. You know, you can still, I'm not saying you can't do business without a website, of course you can, and a lot of people do, but I still think it is important to have a website presence, even if it's just a one-pager. Yep, you're welcome. Okay. When adding a subscriber, with the free, there is 2,000 emails, whereas the paid one is 500. Is that a step back in the paid version? No. So that's, I think that's actually 500 on top of the 2,000. So it gives you an extra 500. Plus you get a lot more features as well. So it's 2,000 plus 500, and then you get a lot extra features in the Mailchimp as well. So it's not a step backwards, because you still get the extra subscribers as well. When adding a subscriber, yep, cool. So hopefully that's answered a few of your questions. And like I said, if anyone needs any help with socials, with PR, with anything like that, you can book in three sessions with myself or one of the ASBAS advisors that can assist you further. But I appreciate your time this morning, and hopefully you've found that insightful. And yeah, I wish you all a beautiful day ahead, and feels like a Friday, but it's Thursday today. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and hope you enjoyed today. So thank you for joining me all, and have a fantastic Thursday. See ya.